Do you want to sound more natural, precise, and confident in English? In this video, you'll learn 150 advanced adverbs that native speakers actually use. I've organised them into clear, everyday topics so you can understand how they're used in real situations, not just memorise a list. Each adverb comes with a simple meaning and a useful real-life sentence you can start using straight away. Do you already know all of them, or are there a few that will surprise you? Let's find out. Habitually. Habitually, meaning done regularly as a habit. Done regularly as a habit. He habitually checks his phone as soon as he wakes up. He habitually checks his phone as soon as he wakes up. Methodically. Methodically, meaning done in a careful, organised, step-by-step way. Done in a careful, organised, step-by-step way. She methodically plans her morning so nothing feels rushed. She methodically plans her morning so nothing feels rushed. Reluctantly. Reluctantly, meaning done with hesitation or unwillingness. Done with hesitation or unwillingness. He reluctantly gets out of bed when the alarm goes off. He reluctantly gets out of bed when the alarm goes off. Promptly. Promptly, meaning done exactly on time, without delay. Done exactly on time, without delay. She promptly leaves the house at 7 every weekday. She promptly leaves the house at 7 every weekday. Gradually. Gradually, meaning done slowly over time, not suddenly. Done slowly over time, not suddenly. He gradually becomes more alert after his first coffee. He gradually becomes more alert after his first coffee. Predictably. Predictably, meaning in a way that is expected or unsurprising. In a way that is expected or unsurprising. Predictably, the train is late during rush hour. Predictably, the train is late during rush hour. Mindlessly. Mindlessly, meaning done without attention or conscious thought. Done without attention or conscious thought. He mindlessly scrolls through his phone before breakfast. He mindlessly scrolls through his phone before breakfast. Consciously. Consciously, meaning done with deliberate awareness and intention. Done with deliberate awareness and intention. She consciously avoids checking emails before work. She consciously avoids checking emails before work. Effortlessly. Effortlessly, meaning done easily, without visible effort. Done easily, without visible effort. He effortlessly slips back into his daily routine. He effortlessly slips back into his daily routine. Intermittently. Intermittently, meaning happening occasionally, not continuously. Happening occasionally, not continuously. He works intermittently from home during the week. He works intermittently from home during the week. Inevitably, inevitably, meaning in a way that cannot be avoided. In a way that cannot be avoided. Inevitably, the day feels longer when he skips breakfast. Inevitably, the day feels longer when he skips breakfast. Consistently, consistently, meaning done in the same reliable way over time. Done in the same reliable way over time. She consistently goes for a walk after dinner. She consistently goes for a walk after dinner. Absent-mindedly, absent-mindedly, meaning done while distracted or thinking about something else. Done while distracted or thinking about something else. He absent-mindedly leaves his keys on the kitchen counter. He absent-mindedly leaves his keys on the kitchen counter. Occasionally, occasionally, meaning happening sometimes, but not often. Happening sometimes, but not often. He occasionally works late when deadlines pile up. He occasionally works late when deadlines pile up. Deliberately, deliberately, meaning done on purpose, with clear intention. Done on purpose, with clear intention. She deliberately sets aside quiet time every evening. She deliberately sets aside quiet time every evening. Efficiently, efficiently, meaning in a way that avoids wasting time or effort. In a way that avoids wasting time or effort. She organises her tasks efficiently to finish work early. She organises her tasks efficiently to finish work early. Proactively, proactively, meaning by taking action before problems arise. By taking action before problems arise. He proactively updates his manager before issues develop. He proactively updates his manager before issues develop. Meticulously, meticulously, meaning with extreme care and attention to detail. With extreme care and attention to detail. She meticulously reviews the report before sending it. She meticulously reviews the report before sending it. Relentlessly, relentlessly, meaning in a determined way without stopping or giving up. In a determined way without stopping or giving up. He relentlessly pursues deadlines even under pressure. He relentlessly pursues deadlines even under pressure. Strategically, strategically, meaning in a way that follows a long-term plan. In a way that follows a long-term plan. She strategically schedules meetings to protect her focus time. She strategically schedules meetings to protect her focus time. Productively, productively, meaning in a way that achieves useful results. In a way that achieves useful results. He works most productively in the early morning. He works most productively in the early morning. Seamlessly, seamlessly, meaning smoothly, without interruption or difficulty. Smoothly, without interruption or difficulty. The team seamlessly switches between tasks during busy periods. The team seamlessly switches between tasks during busy periods. Overwhelmingly, overwhelmingly, meaning to a very great or dominant extent. To a very great or dominant extent. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive after the presentation. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive after the presentation. Systematically, systematically, meaning following a fixed, organised method. Following a fixed, organised method. She systematically works through her to-do list. She systematically works through her to-do list. Intensively, intensively, meaning with a high level of focus and effort. With a high level of focus and effort. He intensively prepares for the project launch. He intensively prepares for the project launch. Competently, competently, meaning in a capable and effective manner. In a capable and effective manner. She competently handles multiple responsibilities at work. She competently handles multiple responsibilities at work. Decisively, decisively, meaning with confidence and firmness, without hesitation. With confidence and firmness, without hesitation. He decisively resolves the issue before it escalates. He decisively resolves the issue before it escalates. Tirelessly, tirelessly, meaning without showing signs of fatigue. Without showing signs of fatigue. She works tirelessly to meet tight deadlines. She works tirelessly to meet tight deadlines. Judiciously, judiciously, meaning with careful thought and good judgment. With careful thought and good judgment. He judiciously chooses which tasks deserve his time. He judiciously chooses which tasks deserve his time. Autonomously, autonomously, meaning independently, without needing supervision. Independently, without needing supervision. She works autonomously while still keeping the team informed. She works autonomously while still keeping the team informed. Politely, politely, meaning in a respectful and considerate manner. In a respectful and considerate manner. He politely declines the invitation without causing offence. He politely declines the invitation without causing offence. Frankly, frankly, meaning in an honest and direct way. In an honest and direct way. She frankly explains why the plan will not work. She frankly explains why the plan will not work. Casually, casually, meaning in a relaxed and informal manner. In a relaxed and informal manner. He casually brings up the issue during lunch. He casually brings up the issue during lunch. Respectfully. Respectfully, meaning showing care and consideration for others. Showing care and consideration for others. She respectfully disagrees with her colleague's opinion. She respectfully disagrees with her colleague's opinion. Diplomatically. Diplomatically, meaning in a tactful way that avoids conflict. In a tactful way that avoids conflict. He diplomatically changes the subject to ease tension. He diplomatically changes the subject to ease tension. Assertively. Assertively, meaning confidently and clearly without being aggressive. Confidently and clearly without being aggressive. She assertively states her boundaries during the discussion. She assertively states her boundaries during the discussion. Warmly. Warmly, meaning with friendliness and kindness. With friendliness and kindness. He warmly welcomes the new team member. He warmly welcomes the new team member. Indirectly. Indirectly, meaning without saying something openly or directly. Without saying something openly or directly. She indirectly hints that she needs more support. She indirectly hints that she needs more support. Openly. Openly, meaning without secrecy or hesitation. Without secrecy or hesitation. He openly admits his mistake to the group. He openly admits his mistake to the group. Tactfully. Tactfully, meaning in a careful way that avoids upsetting others. In a careful way that avoids upsetting others. She tactfully points out the problem during the meeting. She tactfully points out the problem during the meeting. Briefly. Briefly, meaning for a short amount of time. For a short amount of time. He briefly explains the situation before moving on. He briefly explains the situation before moving on. Engagingly. Engagingly, meaning in a way that captures interest and attention. In a way that captures interest and attention. She speaks engagingly, keeping everyone focused. She speaks engagingly, keeping everyone focused. Persuasively. Persuasively, meaning in a way that convinces others. In a way that convinces others. He persuasively argues his case during the discussion. He persuasively argues his case during the discussion. Sympathetically. Sympathetically, meaning with understanding and compassion. With understanding and compassion. She listens sympathetically to her friend's concerns. She listens sympathetically to her friend's concerns. Candidly. Candidly, meaning in an open and sincere way. In an open and sincere way. he candidly shares his thoughts about the situation. He candidly shares his thoughts about the situation. Visibly, visibly, meaning in a way that can clearly be seen. In a way that can clearly be seen. He is visibly relieved when the results come back positive. He is visibly relieved when the results come back positive. Emotionally, emotionally, meaning in a way connected to feelings rather than logic. In a way connected to feelings rather than logic. She is emotionally affected by the news, even if she hides it. She is emotionally affected by the news, even if she hides it. Surprisingly, surprisingly, meaning in a way that is unexpected. In a way that is unexpected. Surprisingly, he stays calm under intense pressure. Surprisingly, he stays calm under intense pressure. Instinctively, instinctively, meaning based on natural reactions rather than thought. Based on natural reactions rather than thought. She instinctively steps back when she hears the noise. She instinctively steps back when she hears the noise. Anxiously, anxiously, meaning in a worried or nervous way. In a worried or nervous way. He anxiously waits for a response to his message. He anxiously waits for a response to his message. Calmly, calmly, meaning in a relaxed and controlled manner. In a relaxed and controlled manner. She calmly explains the situation despite the tension. She calmly explains the situation despite the tension. Hesitantly, hesitantly, meaning with uncertainty or doubt. With uncertainty or doubt. He hesitantly agrees, unsure if it is the right choice. He hesitantly agrees, unsure if it is the right choice. Thankfully, thankfully, meaning used to show relief that something ended well. Used to show relief that something ended well. Thankfully, the issue was resolved before it escalated. Thankfully, the issue was resolved before it escalated. Defensively, defensively, meaning in a way that shows a need to protect oneself. In a way that shows a need to protect oneself. He reacts defensively when his decision is questioned. He reacts defensively when his decision is questioned. Enthusiastically, enthusiastically, meaning with strong excitement or eagerness. With strong excitement or eagerness. She enthusiastically accepts the new opportunity. She enthusiastically accepts the new opportunity. Regretfully, regretfully, meaning with sadness about something done or said. With sadness about something done or said. He regretfully admits that he made the wrong call. He regretfully admits that he made the wrong call. Intuitively, intuitively, meaning based on inner understanding rather than reasoning. Based on inner understanding rather than reasoning. She intuitively senses that something is off. She intuitively senses that something is off. Optimistically, optimistically, meaning with hope and positive expectation. With hope and positive expectation. He optimistically believes the situation will improve. He optimistically believes the situation will improve. Resignedly, resignedly, meaning in a way that accepts something unavoidable. In a way that accepts something unavoidable. She resignedly agrees to the delay. She resignedly agrees to the delay. Skeptically, skeptically, meaning with doubt or disbelief. With doubt or disbelief. He skeptically listens to the explanation. He skeptically listens to the explanation. Prudently, prudently, meaning in a careful way that avoids unnecessary risk. In a careful way that avoids unnecessary risk. She prudently saves extra money before making big decisions. She prudently saves extra money before making big decisions. Rationally, rationally, meaning using logic rather than emotion. Using logic rather than emotion. He tries to think rationally before responding. He tries to think rationally before responding. Objectively, objectively, meaning based on facts, not personal feelings. Based on facts, not personal feelings. She evaluates the situation objectively before deciding. She evaluates the situation objectively before deciding. Impulsively, impulsively, meaning acting suddenly without thinking carefully. Acting suddenly without thinking carefully. He impulsively agrees, then realizes the commitment involved. He impulsively agrees, then realizes the commitment involved. Cautiously, cautiously, meaning with care to avoid mistakes or danger. With care to avoid mistakes or danger. She cautiously considers her options before committing. She cautiously considers her options before committing. Confidently, confidently, meaning with belief in one's judgment or ability. With belief in one's judgment or ability. He confidently backs his decision despite criticism. He confidently backs his decision despite criticism. Wisely, wisely, meaning showing good judgment and experience. Showing good judgment and experience. She wisely waits for more information before choosing. She wisely waits for more information before choosing. Hastily, hastily, meaning too quickly, without enough thought. Too quickly, without enough thought. He hastily makes a choice he later regrets. He hastily makes a choice he later regrets. Logically, logically, meaning following clear reasoning and structure. Following clear reasoning and structure. She logically breaks down the problem before acting. She logically breaks down the problem before acting. Carelessly, carelessly, meaning without enough attention or responsibility. Without enough attention or responsibility. He carelessly agrees to the terms without reading them. He carelessly agrees to the terms without reading them. Purposefully. Purposefully, meaning with a clear aim or intention. With a clear aim or intention. She purposefully avoids distractions while deciding. She purposefully avoids distractions while deciding. Fairly. Fairly, meaning in an impartial and just manner. In an impartial and just manner. He fairly weighs both sides of the argument. He fairly weighs both sides of the argument. Critically. Critically, meaning with careful judgment and evaluation. With careful judgment and evaluation. She critically assesses the risks involved. She critically assesses the risks involved. Intentionally. Intentionally, meaning done on purpose, not by accident. Done on purpose, not by accident. He intentionally delays his decision to gather feedback. He intentionally delays his decision to gather feedback. Reasonably. Reasonably, meaning in a sensible and realistic way. In a sensible and realistic way. She reasonably expects a clear explanation before agreeing. She reasonably expects a clear explanation before agreeing. Effectively. Effectively, meaning in a way that produces the intended result. In a way that produces the intended result. She effectively resolves the issue before it escalates. She effectively resolves the issue before it escalates. Swiftly. Swiftly, meaning quickly and without delay. Quickly and without delay. He acts swiftly to prevent further problems. He acts swiftly to prevent further problems. Partially. Partially, meaning not completely, to some extent. Not completely, to some extent. The issue is partially resolved, but more work is needed. The issue is partially resolved, but more work is needed. Successfully. Successfully, meaning with a positive or desired outcome. With a positive or desired outcome. She successfully negotiates a better solution. She successfully negotiates a better solution. Thoroughly. Thoroughly, meaning completely and with great attention to detail. Completely and with great attention to detail. He thoroughly checks the system before restarting it. He thoroughly checks the system before restarting it. Temporarily. Temporarily, meaning for a short time, not permanently. For a short time, not permanently. The service is temporarily unavailable due to maintenance. The service is temporarily unavailable due to maintenance. Externally. Externally, meaning from outside an organisation or system. From outside an organisation or system. The problem is caused externally, not by the team. The problem is caused externally, not by the team. Internally. Internally, meaning from within a system, organisation or person. From within a system, organisation or person. The issue is being reviewed internally. The issue is being reviewed internally. Immediately. Immediately, meaning without any delay. Without any delay. She immediately addresses the complaint. She immediately addresses the complaint. Progressively. Progressively, meaning gradually improving or developing over time. Gradually improving or developing over time. The situation progressively improves after the changes. The situation progressively improves after the changes. Adequately. Adequately, meaning to a satisfactory or acceptable level. To a satisfactory or acceptable level. The problem is adequately handled, though not perfectly. The problem is adequately handled, though not perfectly. Ineffectively. Ineffectively, meaning without achieving the desired result. Without achieving the desired result. The issue is ineffectively managed at first. The issue is ineffectively managed at first. Creatively. Creatively, meaning using imagination or original ideas. Using imagination or original ideas. He creatively approaches the challenge with limited resources. He creatively approaches the challenge with limited resources. Realistically. Realistically, meaning in a practical and sensible way. In a practical and sensible way. She realistically assesses what can be fixed today. She realistically assesses what can be fixed today. Collectively. Collectively, meaning as a group rather than individually. As a group rather than individually. The team collectively agrees on the best solution. The team collectively agrees on the best solution. Dramatically. Dramatically, meaning in a sudden or very noticeable way. In a sudden or very noticeable way. His confidence improves dramatically after consistent practice. His confidence improves dramatically after consistent practice. Steadily. Steadily, meaning at a regular and reliable pace. At a regular and reliable pace. She steadily builds her skills over time. She steadily builds her skills over time. Noticeably. Noticeably, meaning in a way that is easy to see or recognize. In a way that is easy to see or recognize. His pronunciation becomes noticeably clearer. His pronunciation becomes noticeably clearer. Incrementally. Incrementally, meaning in small gradual stages. In small gradual stages. The system improves incrementally with each update. The system improves incrementally with each update. Substantially. Substantially, meaning to a large and meaningful extent. to a large and meaningful extent. Her workload is substantially reduced after the changes. Her workload is substantially reduced after the changes. Continuously, continuously, meaning without stopping or interruption. Without stopping or interruption. The company continuously adapts to market demands. The company continuously adapts to market demands. Radically, radically, meaning in a very new or extreme way. In a very new or extreme way. He radically changes his approach to learning. He radically changes his approach to learning. Marginally, marginally, meaning by a very small amount. By a very small amount. The results improve marginally after the adjustment. The results improve marginally after the adjustment. Gradationally, gradationally, meaning in a series of gradual steps. In a series of gradual steps. Responsibility increases gradationally as experience grows. Responsibility increases gradationally as experience grows. Consensually, consensually, meaning by mutual agreement. By mutual agreement. The policy changes consensually after discussion. The policy changes consensually after discussion. Transformatively, transformatively, meaning in a way that causes major positive change. In a way that causes major positive change. The experience impacts him transformatively. The experience impacts him transformatively. Adaptively, adaptively, meaning in a way that adjusts to new conditions. In a way that adjusts to new conditions. She responds adaptively to unexpected challenges. She responds adaptively to unexpected challenges. Systemically, systemically, meaning affecting an entire system rather than one part. Affecting an entire system rather than one part. The issue must be addressed systemically, not individually. The issue must be addressed systemically, not individually. Exponentially, exponentially, meaning at an increasingly rapid rate. At an increasingly rapid rate. His confidence grows exponentially with daily practice. His confidence grows exponentially with daily practice. Cumulatively, cumulatively, meaning increasing step by step over time. Increasing step by step over time. Small habits cumulatively lead to major improvements. Small habits cumulatively lead to major improvements. Personally, personally, meaning from one's own point of view. From one's own point of view. I personally think the plan needs more time. I personally think the plan needs more time. Subjectively, subjectively, meaning based on personal feelings rather than facts. Based on personal feelings rather than facts. She subjectively prefers working alone. She subjectively prefers working alone. Arguably, arguably, meaning Used to say something can be reasonably debated. Used to say something can be reasonably debated. He is arguably the strongest candidate for the role. He is arguably the strongest candidate for the role. Firmly, firmly, meaning with strong conviction or certainty. With strong conviction or certainty. She firmly believes honesty matters more than speed. She firmly believes honesty matters more than speed. Tentatively, tentatively, meaning in a hesitant or uncertain way. In a hesitant or uncertain way. He tentatively suggests an alternative approach. He tentatively suggests an alternative approach. Fundamentally, fundamentally, meaning in the most basic or essential way. In the most basic or essential way. The two viewpoints are fundamentally different. The two viewpoints are fundamentally different. Ideologically, ideologically, meaning based on a set of beliefs or principles. Based on a set of beliefs or principles. They are ideologically opposed on the issue. They are ideologically opposed on the issue. Traditionally, traditionally, meaning following long-established customs or beliefs. Following long-established customs or beliefs. The role has traditionally been held by senior staff. The role has traditionally been held by senior staff. Culturally, culturally, meaning in relation to shared social customs and values. In relation to shared social customs and values. The gesture is culturally significant in that region. The gesture is culturally significant in that region. Philosophically, philosophically, meaning from a theoretical or reflective viewpoint. From a theoretical or reflective viewpoint. Philosophically, he questions what success really means. Philosophically, he questions what success really means. Theoretically, theoretically, meaning in principle, but not always in practice. In principle, but not always in practice. Theoretically, the system should work perfectly. Theoretically, the system should work perfectly. Practically, practically, meaning in a realistic or sensible way. In a realistic or sensible way. Practically, the plan needs fewer steps. Practically, the plan needs fewer steps. Supposedly, supposedly, meaning according to what is claimed or believed. According to what is claimed or believed. The product is supposedly more efficient. The product is supposedly more efficient. Privately, privately, meaning not openly or publicly. Not openly or publicly. She privately disagrees but stays silent. She privately disagrees but stays silent. Broadly, broadly, meaning in general terms without focusing on details. In general terms without focusing on details. Broadly, most people agree with the proposal. Broadly, most people agree with the proposal. Eventually. Eventually. Meaning, at some point in the future, after a delay. At some point in the future, after a delay. He eventually understands the system after repeated use. He eventually understands the system after repeated use. Simultaneously. Simultaneously. Meaning, at the same time. At the same time. She manages multiple tasks simultaneously. She manages multiple tasks simultaneously. Momentarily. Momentarily. Meaning, for a very short time. For a very short time. The screen freezes momentarily before loading again. The screen freezes momentarily before loading again. Repeatedly. Repeatedly. Meaning, happening again and again. Happening again and again. He repeatedly checks the details to avoid mistakes. He repeatedly checks the details to avoid mistakes. Previously. Previously. Meaning, at an earlier time. At an earlier time. She had previously worked in a similar role. She had previously worked in a similar role. Concurrently. Concurrently. Meaning, happening at the same time as something else. Happening at the same time as something else. The project runs concurrently with other initiatives. The project runs concurrently with other initiatives. Sporadically. Sporadically. Meaning, occurring irregularly or unpredictably. Occurring irregularly or unpredictably. He works sporadically when motivation dips. He works sporadically when motivation dips. Sequentially. Sequentially. Meaning, in a specific order, one after another. In a specific order, one after another. The steps must be completed sequentially. The steps must be completed sequentially. Instantly. Instantly. Meaning, immediately without delay. Immediately without delay. She instantly recognizes the mistake. She instantly recognizes the mistake. Ultimately. Ultimately. Meaning, in the end, after everything is considered. In the end, after everything is considered. Ultimately, the decision benefits everyone. Ultimately, the decision benefits everyone. Periodically. Periodically. Meaning, happening at regular intervals. Happening at regular intervals. The system updates periodically. The system updates periodically. Persistently. Persistently. Meaning, continuing firmly despite difficulty. Continuing firmly despite difficulty. He persistently follows up until he gets a response. He persistently follows up until he gets a response. Chronologically. Chronologically. Meaning, arranged according to time order. Arranged according to time order. The events are listed chronologically. The events are listed chronologically. Prematurely. Prematurely. Meaning, too early, before the proper time. Too early, before the proper time. She quits prematurely without exploring alternatives. She quits prematurely without exploring alternatives. Retrospectively, retrospectively, meaning looking back at past events, looking back at past events. Retrospectively, the warning signs were obvious. Retrospectively, the warning signs were obvious. Professionally, professionally, meaning in a skilled, responsible and appropriate manner. In a skilled, responsible and appropriate manner. She handles the complaint professionally despite the pressure. She handles the complaint professionally despite the pressure. Courteously, courteously, meaning in a polite and respectful way. In a polite and respectful way. He courteously thanks everyone for their time. He courteously thanks everyone for their time. Thoughtfully, thoughtfully, meaning with careful consideration for others or the situation. With careful consideration for others or the situation. She thoughtfully chooses her words during the discussion. She thoughtfully chooses her words during the discussion. Considerately, considerately, meaning showing concern for other people's feelings or needs. Showing concern for other people's feelings or needs. He considerately lowers his voice in the shared space. He considerately lowers his voice in the shared space. Carefully, carefully, meaning with attention and caution to avoid mistakes. With attention and caution to avoid mistakes. She carefully explains the process step by step. She carefully explains the process step by step. Patiently, patiently, meaning with calm persistence and without frustration. With calm persistence and without frustration. He patiently waits for everyone to finish speaking. He patiently waits for everyone to finish speaking. Recklessly, recklessly, meaning without thinking about risks or consequences. Without thinking about risks or consequences. He recklessly ignores the advice and acts anyway. He recklessly ignores the advice and acts anyway. Rudely, rudely, meaning in an impolite or disrespectful way. In an impolite or disrespectful way. She rudely interrupts before he finishes his point. She rudely interrupts before he finishes his point. Graciously, graciously, meaning with kindness, politeness, or generosity. With kindness, politeness, or generosity. He graciously accepts the feedback. He graciously accepts the feedback. Responsibly, responsibly, meaning in a way that shows accountability and care. In a way that shows accountability and care. She responsibly manages the team's expectations. She responsibly manages the team's expectations. Ethically, ethically, meaning according to moral principles and fairness. According to moral principles and fairness. The company ethically sources its materials. The company ethically sources its materials. Honourably, honourably, meaning with integrity and a strong sense of right and wrong. With integrity and a strong sense of right and wrong. He honourably admits his mistake. He honourably admits his mistake. Discreetly, discreetly, meaning carefully and privately, without attracting attention. Carefully and privately, without attracting attention. She discreetly raises the issue after the meeting. She discreetly raises the issue after the meeting. Impolitely, impolitely, meaning without proper manners or respect. Without proper manners or respect. He impolitely dismisses the suggestion. He impolitely dismisses the suggestion. Selflessly, selflessly, meaning putting others' needs before one's own. Putting others' needs before one's own. She selflessly offers her time to help the team. She selflessly offers her time to help the team.